Hello and a very warm welcome to News Night, your one-stop destination for news and analysis on the day's biggest news stories. Tonight, on the day, a last-ditch effort was made by Rajnath Singh to get LK Advani on board on declaring Narendra Modi BJP's prime ministerial candidate. Now, we ask, can the BJP get its act together on the divide over Modi? Another talking point on the show tonight, with US reluctantly embracing a Russian proposal to keep Syria's chemical weapons under international inspection before eliminating them. We ask, is the global tussle over action against Syria far from over? I'm munmun. First up, the headlines. Tonight, sentencing in the Delhi gang rape case of the 16th of December will take place on Friday afternoon. The decision came after the special fast-track court in New Delhi pronounced the verdict yesterday and, of course, heard arguments of the defence and the prosecution on the quantum of punishment. While the defence sought leniency, the prosecution demanded
that the convicts do not deserve any mercy as they killed the helpless girl who kept on pleading for mercy. The accused have committed the most brutal crime, and this incident has shaken the entire society. Argued that the death sentence is a violation of fundamental rights and in such an impressionable age, and so if they have committed any crime, they should be given a chance to reform.
हमारा ये कहना है डिफेंस की तरफ से नए उम्र के बच्चे हैं, इनका कोई क्रिमिनल रिकॉर्ड नहीं है, परिवार में माँ बाप बूढ़े हैं, बिना पढ़ रहा था, स्टूडेंट था, शिक्षा ले रहा था, एजुकेशन ले रहा था, और इन हालातों में उसे कम से कम सजा दी जाए, जिससे उसे दोबारा संभलने का मौका मिले, जिससे उसे दोबारा समझने का मौका मिले और अच्छा सुधर के अपने जिंदगी को दी जाए।
उनकी तरफ से कहा गया था कि क्षमा किया जाए। क्षमा कैसे होगा जब वैसा ही इतना घटिया और इतना ही ग्रूसम एक्ट किया गया, तो क्षमा कैसे हो सकता है ऐसे? और अगर इसको क्षमा किया जाएगा तो इतने सारे जो क्राइम हो रहे हैं, फिर उनको एग्जाम्पल।
Court had held Vinay Sharma, Pawan Gupta, Mukesh Singh and Akshay Thakur guilty of rape, murder, conspiracy under 13 sections on Tuesday. All the accused could be given either life or death sentence. Earlier, all these four were produced in the Saket court in the capital amidst tight security. Police had made heavy security arrangements in the court premises. People staged a demonstration and demanded death sentence for the accused. It was on 16 December night last year that the girl Nirbhaya was gang raped in a moving bus. Later, there was an attempt to murder the victim and her friend. The victim succumbed to her brutal injuries in Singapore during treatment. One of the accused in the case, Ram Singh, committed suicide in Tihar jail, while a minor accused has been given 3 years in a reform home by a juvenile court. Bureau Report, DD News.
Under pressure, Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav has directed the Commissioner and District Magistrate of Muzaffarnagar to make prompt arrangements for free medical treatment to those injured in the violence. In Delhi, the Supreme Court has agreed to give an urgent hearing to a PIL seeking CBI probe into the communal violence in Muzaffarnagar, and also for ensuring safe passage to people stuck due to the clashes. Meanwhile, the area is returning to normalcy with the curfew lifted in most parts for a couple of hours today. Here's a report by correspondent Amrit Pal.
I'm right now in the heart of Muzaffarnagar. The curfew has just been relaxed. People are coming out on the streets. The shops are opening up. People are trying to purchase essentials. We went around the city to take a stock of what the situation is and
joined by Amrit Pal from Muzaffarnagar for the latest. Amrit, how tenuous is the situation there?
The situation, Munmun, is quite tenuous because, there is an uneasy calm, though there has been no incidents of violence that has been reported since the curfew was relaxed, but it's an uneasy calm. I went down to the rural areas today and spoke to the people who had migrated and are camping at other places. They're very scared to go back. I'll tell you an incident which happened today in Bagpat. The police went in there, was trying to soothe tempers and get communal harmony between two groups of people who had started pelting stones at each other. The situation got out of hand. They attacked the police, so they had to be taken into custody. There were searches done. The ADG Law and Order told me that 41 cartridges of AK-47 were found during the searches, 7 of 9mm pistols, 9 cartridges of country-made weapons. So this is just two villages that I'm talking about. So clearly, there is a lurking apprehension amongst people. There is, if you know this belt, you would know that there are a lot of licensed and unlicensed arms that are here. Because of the heavy security presence here, things are right now, there is a calm, but it will take a while before these emotions calm down, people build that trust, and that fear psychosis goes away.
Right, so you're telling us that it will take a while before things really settle in there. But Amrit, pro-minority bodies are demanding the dismissal of the state government for its... Please don't go anywhere. Not all obstacles have been removed from Narendra Modi's ascent in the BJP. The RSS may well have signalled its go-ahead for naming Narendra Modi BJP's prime ministerial candidate, but the party remains divided over his elevation.
From helping Narendra
seats and Bihar, there are 40 seats.
Absolutely.
So
Which is why the BJP is divided down the middle over this issue. We'll take a break now, but we'll be right back after a short break to discuss when will the BJP get over the divide over Narendra Modi. Rahul Gandhi has hit the campaign trail in Rajasthan. He lauded UPA's governance record, hailing some of the recent pro-rights legislations passed by the parliament. The threat of a US-led military strike may have receded for now. Barack Obama has asked the US Congress to postpone its vote on the military option after Syria offered to place its chemical weapons arsenal in UN custody on Russia's initiative. But the road ahead seems bumpy. US and France want a UN Security Council resolution which would keep the military option open if Syria fails to live up to its commitment, that is. But Russia and China expectedly are dead opposed to that. Regional politics playing out in Syria.
Exactly. I don't.
And how does Obama plan to manage domestic opposition?
They never look beyond the military strike. What they did in Iraq. They are concerned about the post-Saddam Iraq. The complete mess. There is no democracy. There is no stability. It is a kind of de facto partition of Iraq. Similar situation may arise, but these people are least concerned about the consequences.
If they were least concerned about the consequences, then what really has changed?
Exactly, that's
the
question.
You see,
the American administration at the moment is under pressure from its allies, particularly Saudis and the Qataris, and to an extent the Turks, because these are the countries which are interested in overthrowing
but
a
had
regime.
US given into that pressure, a military strike would have happened.
Because it is trying hard for a face-saving device. Because all through it has been supporting these countries.
So essentially you are saying it's a time-buying tactic.
Exactly. To me it looks like a time-buying tactic, because they're trying to somehow placate the opposition from within the country and outside.
All right, since
by
I have
giving
limited
diplomacy.
Enough ground for them to be able to work out an agreement. And the initial soundings that we are seeing is that the Americans and the French and the British...
So you are saying forget about enforcement, they won't reach an agreement?
No. I'm saying they are not likely to reach an agreement in the Security Council, because what they are asking for is authorization under Chapter 7 of the Charter for the use of force to avert a threat to international peace and security. That's what Chapter 7 is about. I think they're not going to get that. The Russians are not going to agree to it, and they have a veto. The Chinese are going to veto it. So the Security Council is not the route. I don't think that that's going to...
The dissension is over the fine print. The dissension is only over the fine print. You think
not the fine, well,
that won't be sorted out?
It's a question of how you define fine print. The issue in conflict is the approval of the use of force against Bashar al-Assad.
In case the stockpile of the chemical weapons are not destroyed comprehensively and also put under international inspection, then that is the option which France has touted and US has supported.
No. The point is that the French, the Brits and the Americans want it in the Security Council resolution that if he does not comply with the requirement to enter the OPCW, which is tantamount to putting the stockpile under the OPCW control,
and also signing
foregoing the use of chemical weapons in future.
And now, also signing the Chemical Weapons Convention?
That is what OPCW is.
Okay,
now, the point is that there is a deeper game going on, and the Western countries have not hidden this part up until fairly recently, which is regime change.
So
Is
will this
that part of the
diplomatic
agenda?
solution, so to say, fall through? Will this fall through, do you believe, with the apprehensions and reservations which he has would be reached in the first place in the United Nations Security
The Americans
Council?
are actually insisting on the kind of commitment and a time-bound commitment that within that period of time the Syrian regime should destroy, dismantle all the chemical weapons stockpiles. It's highly impossible to do it within a particular limited period of time. At the same time, the Americans also saying that you should not use a dilatory tactics. They are saying probably like Assad regime is trying to delay the entire operation. Thereby, the onus is on the Syrian authorities, not the Americans, that they have to demonstrate whatever commitment they make to the international community. So that's the problem, whether they're going to carry it forward in near future or not.
So there'll be no agreement on the accord,
There could be an agreement, but what I'm saying, the agreement may not be carried through. That's what I'm saying, and that could be the ground for the Americans to resume this military
So you are
operation.
saying an agreement would be reached in the first place. He is saying enforcement will be almost impossible. But in case US or the Western powers put together decide to strike Syria, how will that help bring about a political solution or even demolish chemical weapons in Syria?
No, it won't. I think this is the dilemma that they are facing. Just to go back very briefly, the Western demand is not that the stockpiles should be destroyed within a finite period of time or within an early time frame. No. Their demand is that, I've heard some senators say that within 2 weeks the agreement must be reached, the commitment must be made. Now, is that doable or not? Personally, if they are going
Obama says he himself doesn't know whether it's doable at this stage.
Precisely, and that's what I'm saying too, especially if you're going to link it with authorization for the use of force. That is an absolute no-no. It will immediately attract a Chinese and a Russian veto. Now, what was your other question?
No, my question was, if there is a strike, will it help bring about any political solution, and will it even demolish, for that matter, all the chemical weapons stockpile that Syria has?
Listen, they are not talking about demolishing. What they are talking about is degrading, and I think they can do that. Militarily, that is doable. But I suspect,
West
yes,
Asia.
that's right.
Okay.
That's right.
Prabhat P. Shukla and Professor A.K. Mohapatra, thank you very much for joining us on Newsnight. We're closing in at 10 p.m. Wish we could discuss more of the crisis in Syria, but thank you on that note. Well, we hardly have any limited time, so let's just quickly go through what's happening in Uttarakhand. 3 months after the devastating floods there, symbolic prayers were held for 4 hours, marking the reopening of the Kedarnath temple today. However, the temple still remains closed for pilgrims. A decision on opening it for prayers by pilgrims is likely to be taken on the 30th of this month.
The deathly...
Well, that's all for today, but don't forget to write to us and give your feedback to us on the show. Our Twitter handle is DD News Night. We'll see you again tomorrow. Until then, take care. Goodbye.